It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Carbon Express,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Wind Scent Hunting Sense,
Killer Food Plots, Seeds, Supplements, and Attractants,
Cabela's,
Spot Shooters,
Limb Walker Game Calls,
Twisted Minds Bowstrings,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Antler Action,
and Family Traditions Tree Stand.
And don't forget you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on goodtalkradio.com. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal podcast, everybody. I'm host Mike Adams, sitting in a cabin tonight. Danny is here. He is not up north.
No, I am not up north. I am still in the lower peninsula, waiting to go to the UP.
All right.
Just waiting.
Well, today, before we even get started, today's a special day.
Absolutely.
Today, November 11th, is Veterans Day, and we want to thank everybody that has sacrificially given their time, their efforts, their lives to be able to allow us to do what we do. Without them, we wouldn't have what we have today, number one. Number two, we wouldn't be able to express our views across the internet as we do.
Absolutely. That's one of the
whole nine,
the whole 9 yards, right?
Yep.
My dad was in the Korean War.
Okay.
So he did his time, and thank him all the time for doing that.
Both of my grandfathers served in World War II. So
World War II it was.
Yep.
Okay. My grandfather from Belgium was World War I.
Okay.
So,
and if I'm not mistaken, is today also not the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I?
correct.
I think. Is that right?
Armistice, yeah. I
Okay.
believe so.
Thus the reason for today being Veterans Day.
Yes.
So hats off to all of them. Cannot thank all of you guys and your family members enough, because it's the wives and the kids that also sacrifice
A big shout out to the wives who, in any war that we're in, that back then when they stayed home, or now even the wives going to combat and battle,
Absolutely.
the ones that stay back stateside that have to take care of all the slack that goes on.
Right. Yeah.
The world keeps going.
Yep. Sure does.
When you're you're working.
So hats off to all of y'all. Doesn't matter who it is that served. Hats off to everyone from 1776 and even before that. So that started everything here that got this country to where it's at today.
Right, exactly.
So where do we go from there? That's pretty solemn.
It is. Speaking of hats off, nice hat.
You like that?
Yeah.
Big thanks and shout out to our official call sponsor, Limb Walker Game Calls. Sent us some new gear in. Do we want to break out the rest of it?
Yeah, might as well, since it's the latest thing to show up in the mailbox.
All right. This right here. No, it's not a picture frame. This is a Limb Walker's pot call. He called it the Purr plate.
The Purr plate,
The
yes.
Purr plate, okay? This little beauty with a cedar striker. Let me try here.
Yep, go ahead, try it.
It's been a while since I got the slick stick out, conditioned it up, conditioned the striker here, so let's see what we can do here. This thing is really quiet.
But it sounds smooth, though.
It is, and it's real quiet. It's for those up close and personal to try to get that bird to close in.
You're using a cedar stick on that, and it's just very soft and mellow. Not too high of a pitch.
No. So that is the Purr plate from Limb Walker Game Calls. It is the newest piece that we have in our arsenal. And we're going to have Tim on, if everything goes correct.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, which would be the Sunday after Thanksgiving when we're all stuffed with turkey.
That's
What
right.
better time to talk about turkey than right after Thanksgiving?
Because it's time to start shopping for Christmas.
That's right. So Tim's going to be on, and if all goes well, we're going to have him on. We're going to talk about the Purr plate, obviously, and some other calls that he has available, and maybe some good Christmas ideas. So
Maybe he'll give us some Christmas tips of calling.
there you go.
Especially with the Purr plate.
Right on. Yeah. So
I'd like to see him run it and have him do it, and
absolutely.
he does it. He does his thing on Friday nights usually when he's on.
Friday night, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Friday nights at 8 on Facebook. He also does a live show, so make sure you check out On the Limb over at the Limb Walkers Game Calls Facebook page.
There'd be nothing better than to sit back, like you do with Whoa, that's bizarre.
My striker fell.
Like everybody's listening in right now, sit back with a favorite cup of Hunter's Blend coffee.
That's right. And we got a promo code, Dan.
Yes, we do.
And how can somebody get them some Hunter's Blend coffee, and how do they save money?
That's right. If you want to save 10%, you go to huntersblendcoffee.com, and when you're checking out, use the promo code capital UNJ, and you'll get 10% of that off your bill and shipped right to your home. Either you get it grounded or you get beans.
There you go.
Because I know somebody out there likes beans.
And regular blend, like a morning blend coffee, and then you get what they call their Hunter's Blend, and then they've got what they've called the black powder, which is the dark roast.
Yes, exactly. And don't be afraid of the dark roast, folks. I thought I was, but
That's what we're drinking tonight.
yeah, is it?
Yeah, this is dark roast.
Oh, see, didn't even
Good stuff.
notice it. Didn't knock me over like sometimes those bold dark roast blends do. It's like, so
Got a little extra kick of caffeine there to keep you going.
great,
Just what you need, right?
right?
So,
But it's okay. I can sleep in tomorrow. It's good.
why?
I have this week off, really,
Oh, you got the whole. That's right. You were supposed to be up north. I
and
forgot.
plus tomorrow is holiday for me.
Another holiday. You had last Tuesday off to vote too.
Yep.
So we haven't talked to anybody since then. We haven't had a show since the election.
No, we haven't.
Do we want to talk about that at all, or should we just stay away from it?
You know what? It is what it is, and the hunting world keeps going.
That's right.
It's just one of those things. You
wake up, the sun comes up the next morning.
got up. It's been a cold sun this week.
It has. We got snow here in Michigan.
Speaking of sun, unfortunately, we got those forest fires out in California.
Okay, what did you mention right before we came on the show about that? And you know that I'm into habitat and into
that's
habitat management.
That's one part of it. But there was another comment today on the news that made my skin crawl. It just was like one of those, because the person reporting from California amongst the fires was blaming global warming.
Of course,
as we were sitting, I think we're 30 degrees below our normal.
It wasn't due to the fact of lack of forest management.
Right. And I think our fans don't want us to talk politics either. So
Okay,
we're good.
So we're going to move on.
Yeah, but anyways, something was brought up about those forest fires, about how their forest is not being taken care of properly, and let them overgrow and becomes a tinderbox. And it was put out there, and
A lot of fuel on the ground.
And that's one thing I know when I had our property done. He says, "You've done a great job. Now you got all the old stuff out. We thinned it out. It's not. I don't want to say it's fire prepared, but it's a lot better if a forest fire were to happen to come through.
It's not as susceptible to fire as it would have been if you'd continue to let it grow and die standing.
Right.
Exactly.
So doing our part.
Good.
But anyways, so no, we're just gonna let that go. Tuesday's over with.
Okay.
We got this Thursday coming up. Opening day of Firearm here in Michigan.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Everything ready to go?
You know, I gathered my equipment today, and
I started today.
Yep, got everything ready. Put it in my to-go pile. So I'll leave Tuesday morning early. Get up there, warm up the cabin. I think some more guys are due in a little bit after me, if I time it right. So.
Okay.
And we'll see what we get into when we get there, being so cold up there. I know it's been in the teens. It's in the 20s today. So
Snow?
Yeah, I do believe we have some snow. I don't think we got what they did on the western end of the UP.
Okay.
So I'm thinking a few inches, not the 12 or so that they did get.
I think that's kind of what we've got around there's probably some dusting, maybe an inch or two at the most. And we had about an inch and a half here on the ground. What day was that? Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday. Or was it Friday morning? I know
one or the other.
Yeah, I was driving to. I think it was Friday or Thursday because I was driving to work, and as I was driving south, I was running into it. Yeah, and people started to freak.
Yeah. So hopefully we have a little bit of snow on the ground. I know Ron Moses, before we started the show, we were talking. Did a little teaser video, and he says, "Leave the snow."
Oh, that was Jason Radecki.
Oh, that's Jason Radecki. That's
yeah,
right. Sorry.
he
wasn't
lives.
Ron. It was Jason Radecki. He
He lives right up there, and he wants us to take the snow away.
Take the snow away. That's right. That's what it was.
It's only November.
That's right. Actually, it's been a little late this year. Usually we've got snow. We've had our first snow by third week of October. Usually we have some kind of snow. Maybe not a lot, but a little.
I know we had this cold spell last year, and I'm getting a feeling we're going to have like a warm December or something It's. I don't think we're going to go into the tank for the next 6 months. I got this feeling it's going to.
we haven't had an ice fishing season we've been ice fishing one time in the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, last year we went out and.
So this would be the 4th season coming up. Hopefully we get on the ice and actually put a couple holes through.
Put a couple of holes through and maybe we can get that old Linden fisherman that we know with the fur hat to come on out.
I'm hoping he might make it to our doe hunt in December. That's what I'm hoping.
That would be fun. So. But I've got everything packed. You got your strategic play ready to roll out?
My what?
Strategic play that you're going to run opening day. You know what you're going to be doing, how you're going to be doing it?
Okay, so if you remember, I talked a little bit. We didn't talk about it on last week's show, but I did mention it when I did the couple podcasts in the field when I was up north. I talked about the DeerCast app. Actually, I got it here on my phone. You really can't see it, but I'm holding up to the camera for those of you on live stream. But I did take a peek at Thursday and see what it had. And they're calling for deer movement in our area to be good in the morning and tapering off towards evening with the conditions and everything that's going on. I think pressure is going to hold through the day. Yeah, it's going to be high pressure through the day. Wind's going to be out of the south. It's supposed to be about 40 degrees in our area.
I was looking at the weather today, and it looks like Wednesday is a cold day, and then Thursday, I think it's going to switch to become a warmer. I think it goes almost to the 40s on Thursday from 20s. So we'll see what's happening come Thursday morning.
But yeah, the DeerCast app, I've used it and looked at it along with what we were seeing up at camp, or what I was seeing and not seeing, and yeah, generally speaking, it played along,
Right.
So, but am I going to put all my faith in an app? No. I'm looking at the weather, I'm looking at the wind direction, I'm looking at the temperature, I'm looking at as a front coming through, what's going on with it. So
it is good to know the weather.
Yeah,
but it tells you when you open the door, you open it. Look out there and go, oh, there's what it is.
So, yeah, I've kind of got my play down and what I'm going to do, and hopefully it's all going to work out. So
cool. So do I. I think I do. I just got to make sure of a couple things when I get up there of some people where they're going to sit. I need to get some people sitting where I want them to sit and making sure everybody is going to be in their spot that I think they're going to be at.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go to a break right now. Let's take our first break. We come back, we'll continue this conversation. So we'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows.
From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible
by basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself, what kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back. Second segment of the show.
So I got 3 blinds set up. Obviously, I can only hunt one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a couple other people with us, and I think the game plan is 2 of them are going to get each one of those blinds. I think.
Okay.
I'll know more.
Your blinds are all going to be occupied.
Yeah, I got 3 of them set up. They should be ready to go. If they want to use them, they're more than welcome.
Do you ever worry about wind direction? Do you play wind? Do you worry about getting into your stand, playing in the wind? Do you worry about getting out of your stand, playing in the wind? Does any of that ever go into it?
Absolutely. So,
but if all your stands are occupied, how do you manage it?
If we're gonna have a west wind, which is typically how we set up, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
2 of the blinds you come in walking into the west, to the west. So you walk west to get to the blinds, and then you sneak into it or get up into it, and then you're good. 1 blind is a little bit rough right now. You gotta come in from the walking east.
Okay.
But it's not far to get to it. So once you get in there and you get set in, you should be okay, because then deer movement tends to be more so from your right to left or left to right, or they come straight at you.
Right.
But really, they come from all directions. I've had them come. So that blind is not so much. I do worry about when we set it up, but after that, it's like, okay, if the wind changes, I don't want to start having to come in through a different way.
Gotcha.
To get to it. So.
Gotcha. Well, I know with the south wind on opening day, if that holds true, I know exactly what stand I'm going to. It's the one I wanted to hunt to begin with anyway. So we will, or I will, plan accordingly, plan a different route in than I normally take in, just due to wind direction, so I can maximize my entry into that
absolutely.
stand. And as long as there's no precipitation, and I'm going to take the right clothes with me, I'm going to pack those in and then suit up as I get into my stand. I'm going to sit outside. I'm not going to sit in a shooting house. I'm actually going to climb in a tree stand. So, here in Michigan, we can deer hunt with rifles from elevated tree stands. Yep. So,
and speaking of that, Ron Moses, who did reload, and it was him.
Okay.
He's saying it's going to be a little crowded at his place. He's going to have 5 hunters for 40 acres.
That's a little tight.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have one, two. I might have one per 40.
I think we're going to have 5.
You can have 5?
5 members at camp. 4 are not going to be there. One may or may not be, but right now we're looking at 5 hunters, which to me is going to alleviate a lot of pressure off the landscape.
Yep.
So
some of our hunters stay on the property, and some of our hunters tend to head off the property, and they'll go up onto the federal and state land.
Yeah, okay.
Which, up there, you got to understand that there's a lot of area, but you still do run into other hunters. So it can be crowded, and this being Thursday hunt, might be a little busy. I know Thursdays and Fridays.
Yeah, people can usually get 2 days off.
Yeah.
Maximize their weekend.
And plus the Wisconsin people come over, and then they'll turn around and go home and hunt their opener.
Gotcha.
So that's how that works. But yeah, I'm ready. So you're prepared. You're biking in and gonna have all your clothes on your backpack, ready to get ready. And
well, I got the bike back this week.
Yeah. Okay. So
did we talk about that last week?
That was one of the things you had to get back.
We talked.
You had to get back because you had to drop your bike off because we talked about it. It got muddy, but it also derailed.
Yeah, I busted the derailleur off, and actually I got it back. Here's a photo of it. With the new derailleur on it, it's all heavy duty. Went ahead and popped for a little extra money and got a new derailleur put on it. And $130 later, it's fixed and rolling. So,
but we talked about this how you transported it up to the camp. You were laying it in the back of the trailer, and it basically was laying there.
Right, and that was part of the problem. It wasn't properly secured, and we figured that's where it got bent at. But as you can see, I got a photo up here for those of you who are on the live stream. For those of you not, you have to go back and watch, listen on the podcast. But I bought 2 pieces of gear at the bike shop. I talked extensively with the manager there at the bike shop, and he had these extra rails. As you can see there, what's holding the back tire, that silver portion, I put on that top rail of my trailer and mounted that to that top rail. That holds the rear tire, but on the very front is... on these mountain bikes, the newer bikes, they've got this quick disconnect for the front tire.
Yep.
And for the rear tire, actually. But for the front tire, I picked up this mounting bracket. You can see here that I put on the end of the side rail of my trailer. So you take the front wheel off, you lock this down. It's got a little locking mechanism. So that way I can lock it on the front securely because otherwise the bike is too long for the trailer, to sit across. And this way I can haul the bike. So it works pretty well.
It's being held by the back tire and the front fork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, do you have to put any more straps down to hold it down, or?
Yeah, I want to put a strap on that rear tire and go around that top rail.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll use something with Velcro, or if I'll use something maybe with a ratchet style, something ratcheting that's, and I won't like reef it down. It's just going to be just to keep it from popping loose and popping out. So.
I think that tire holder gets pretty secure back there. Yeah, you don't need to add any extra pressure than needed.
Yeah, so it took me about an hour today. I worked on that and got that done, and yeah, it works pretty good. So.
Sweet, and you got the cooler ready to roll.
Yeah, I was just trying to position the cooler, figure out where it's going to work best, where I'm going to secure that at now, and because I used to pull that right up to the headboard there, but now that the bike's there, I don't want it bouncing on that and scratching up the paint on it and all that kind of stuff. So
Matt Howard likes your disc brakes.
Oh yeah. I tell you what, with the disc brakes, the one thing you don't do is grab a fistful of brake when you're riding that thing, because if you'll notice in the picture I got up right now, you can see the ATV gun mount that I got on the handlebars. That's what I carry my bow with, but I also will strap my deer rifle on that as well. and it works very well. But the last thing you want to do is get you a fistful of front brakes and go over and then dump your gear. So
You're right.
But no, that's how I get to the woods, man. It works really well. I love it. I've used this for the last 2 years now, and it's quiet. When you're coasting, you know how an old 10-speed, you'd hear the click, 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 click. This, you don't hear that.
Oh, really?
It just sings right along. It just rolls. So,
wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you don't hear that proverbial click, click, click.
You know what? And getting that bike is going to feel good, considering we started our workout.
Yes, we did.
And this is helping.
Well, actually, I picked this up yesterday, and as soon as I got home with it, piddled around a little bit, and then I actually got on the bike and took a nice 5-mile jaunt in a beautiful 26-degree temperature.
Yeah, you texted me. It was cold.
I did 5 miles on it. But
right. But we've been in the gym this past couple of weeks.
Yeah, this is 3 weeks now.
3 weeks. And this last week...
You tried to kill me.
Right. We were trying to be killed. I got with a trainer, and I kind of told him what our goals was, and he kind of set us a 4-day plan.
Yeah.
So we have a goal. We have a plan. We just got to execute.
And we started executing it this week, and I just about got executed.
Right, exactly.
First day wasn't bad. Second day killed me.
The arms day was the worst.
Yeah.
It was like, wow.
So,
but it's good for us.
It is good for us, and I feel a lot better. I've already lost 16 pounds since about the first week of September.
Okay.
So I'm going on almost 2 months now, and I weighed myself today, and I'm down 16 pounds. I'm 245. Remember I said I was 261.
Yep.
So when I went to the doctor, and trying to watch what I eat, doing some exercise, been hitting it hard. This is the third full week of exercising. This week was weight training, and it's working, and getting out in the woods. I noticed it during bow season. I walked every day to the stand because I busted the bike.
Yep.
Taking it up there. So getting in and out of the stand, getting to and from the stand, I felt a lot better. I felt more energized, had more energy. I wasn't huffing and puffing, and yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to getting the bike up there this week and hunting for 3 days and seeing how I feel then. So
and Matt Howard has a friend that has one, and his mountain bike has snow tires.
Snow tires. Okay. Has it got big knobby tires, the big fat tires?
Must be. Trail tires.
Yeah, so.
But, definitely it's good to get back out there into the gym together, because we're pushing each other, and it's a lot easier when somebody's with you than to do it on your own.
Absolutely. We had a guy we know here in town, Billy, who quite often chimes into the show. And Bill, I don't know if you're listening tonight, but I'm going to name drop you. But, he actually called and left us a message when we did the first thing about us exercising and getting heart healthy and making sure we didn't have a heart attack dragging deer out.
Right, exactly. And that's one of the things, it can happen at any time. And if you're not prepared for it. Right, exactly. And it can happen at any age, I'll tell you that. But that's one of the things when Gabby and I were hoofing the deer around, getting them back up into the truck or getting them into the back of just that little workout we're doing now is going to help all that.
Well, it'll let you get deeper into the woods.
We got deeper.
It lets you push deeper into the woods. You've got the energy to get there. When you're in shape, you're not huffing and puffing. You're not, your heart rate's not racing because you're carrying all your gear and you're out of shape. That keeps your scent down.
Well,
when you're in shape, you can walk at a brisk pace, carry your gear in, and you're not exerting a ton of energy. You're not busting a sweat.
Exactly.
So,
and then if you do it right, you get into your stand.
Yeah.
You let yourself cool down.
Yep.
And then you layer up as you go.
Yep.
And it all works out really good. But yeah, we definitely. I know we're gonna have a couple weeks here or a week or so that we're not gonna be able to get there because hunting season. But we'll get back to it.
Well, we're going tomorrow.
Yep.
And we're going Tuesday.
Well, you're going Tuesday.
That's right. I'm going Tuesday.
I'm going up north.
So yeah, I'm gonna get the sheet. He carries the sheet right now, and what machine we're going to next. So
right, exactly. And this trainer was really nice about it. I told him we're looking at 4 to 5 days in the gym, and he says, okay, I'll make it for 4 days because everybody says, and then they might not get to it. And I said, that's fine. I said, but we got a 4-day program that we can do 4 days, and then if there's a 5th day in there, that's a bonus day for us.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the way I felt. Friday, I took Friday off. Didn't go to the gym Friday. But when I got the bike back, I'm like, I got to do something, And I took today off. Actually, I called you, but I couldn't get a hold of you. I thought, well, let's go today. But we didn't make the day, so tomorrow we're back in it. So that's like, we did 4 days straight, then a day off, a day on, a day off. Now we're going to hit back on again.
Yep, exactly. So that'll be good to get back out there tomorrow night. Today I was yard cleaning and packing.
Right. Well, that's
making
what we
sure
got
I
to
had
do.
everything.
Get everything ready and get loaded up, and that's what I'm going to be doing this week, making sure I've got everything ready to go. So I did some laundry today. Got a few pieces of scent lock that I needed to reactivate and get cleaned that I took care of today, along with my base layers, and got that all done. So yeah, I'm well on the way. Got the rifles ready to go. So
yeah.
Do you take a backup rifle with you?
Yes.
To camp?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I always do. I always make sure to take two.
I take two. I have my main one, and then I got a backup. And I'll switch sometimes if I just get that. I think I'm switching today.
Well, I always take one just in case something happens.
That's why I always take two, especially when I'm in the UP.
Right.
Only know what can happen. Gun falls off of a tree, or you lean it somewhere, or you're in the cabin and it falls, or something happens.
I grab a fistful of brake and flip over the handlebars.
There you go. That could happen. A fistful of brake.
Yeah.
You just say, okay, well, I can't shoot it right now, so I will. Yeah, I do that. I always take two.
How about a gun cleaning kit? You take one with you?
I usually throw what do they call it? Yeah, it's a little round kit that I usually put.
Oh, the little snake pack? The pack that's got the little wire snake with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget, it's a doodle or something like that, and yeah,
just in case you're carrying it with the muzzle down, and you maybe stumble or something, and there goes a gun barrel in the dirt.
Do you ever put anything over your gun barrel, like a piece of tape?
No, I've never done that.
Never done that? Mm-mm. I've seen that before. Yeah. I've never done it myself, but
probably not a bad idea.
But yeah, I always try to carry that little pack with me. Throw it in the gun case, and just in case.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am too far away from everything to just run to the store, because everybody's probably closed anyways.
Sure. Right.
So, because I know like the tire store up there has a sign, and it will say "Gone till Thanksgiving." It's like, okay.
So if you have a flat, you're on your own.
You're not going there. I've been there.
Right.
I've done that. And there's a sign on the door that says "Gone till Thanksgiving." So,
well, I tell you, a place we need to go right now is to another break. So let's step outside. We'll take our second break. We'll come back, continue the conversation. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
Welcome back. Third segment of the show. Josh Hagerman is on. Hey, thanks for tuning in tonight, Josh. Hayden Southern is watching. My cousin from Alabama. Thanks for tuning in, bud. I appreciate it.
Joe Schnurr is on.
Joe, I think, is that Chris's dad?
Correct.
Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like Christmas Eve with guns here right now. I mean,
it is.
It's the eve of, not the eve, but close to the eve of firearm deer season here in Michigan.
I tell you what, this is prime time to be out in the woods, though. If you can get a bow or a crossbow, get out in the woods.
I wish I had this week off.
It
is so awesome right now. I mean, the temps are cold. We've had snow.
Yep.
I hear a few guys talking a little bit about some rut activity happening. Deer starting to chase, and
it's going. So.
It's getting to be that time. So,
but so it definitely it is like Christmas. It is Michigan, November 15th.
November 15th. That's right. Spit it out, Danny.
I know. It's like but I had to go. I went to Bass Pro last night.
Yeah, you brought some new gear in here into the cabin tonight.
Yeah, I went over to Bass Pro, and
what'd you go over for?
Actually, I was going over. My youngest Erica wanted to go shopping anyways, which was pretty funny. Mm-hmm. She got sticker shock on some items of clothing that she was looking for, and she's like, "How much?"
Yeah,
I said,
yeah,
right. So,
well, welcome to our world,
right? So she didn't end up buying anything there, but so our last stop walking out was Bass Pro.
Okay.
So I ended up picking up some body wash, and I ended up picking up a new camera, Cabela's camera.
Trail cam?
Yeah, it's now that the companies are combined, you walk in the Bass Pro, and now all of a sudden you'll see like a bin of Cabela stuff.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah, I know, it's hilarious. Actually, they got a bunch of their stuff in there, and I was looking in the game cameras, and they had one of their Cabela's branded cameras there, and it was $99, and I was like, I got some cards.
Yeah.
I said, all right, I'll pick one up, add one to my arsenal of
yeah, why not?
pictures, right?
Sure.
So I picked one of those up, and then I was like, okay, I really came here for something else, because as we get older, and our hearing is kind of important to us.
What?
Exactly.
So actually, I do. I've got ringing in my ears continuously.
Yes, you've got ringing in your ears, and I have shot out of the blind. It was, it was when my dad was with me, so it was a few years back, a couple of years, 3-4 years now.
Do you have the muzzle out the window?
No.
Why?
Because I shot. Oh, I thought I did.
You had it on a shooting stick, didn't you? Holding it up, and you had it inside the blind.
No, I think I freehanded it.
You just freehanded it. Why didn't you use the ledge of the window?
No, it was a pop-up blind, so you don't get the support, right?
I got you.
So
did you blow the pressure? Blow the
actually, what happened? What happened was I was sitting there and I put the scope on the deer, and it was a 6-point, and that's for APRs. That's legal up in the UP, and it was like right at first light, and I said, "Good enough for me." And I ended up shooting, and then my ears started to ring like you wouldn't believe.
Started to bleed.
Well, then I look and notice, on some of the blinds have the V window,
right?
Yeah, I blew that totally out. I shot through the blind, so because my scope was above was fine, but
the barrel was below
because I'm short, and so I was probably, now that more than I think about it, I was probably crouching a little bit, but anyways, my ears started to ring, and I'm like, okay.
I'll tell you what, I've shoot stories for On the Trail at work.
Yeah.
Our outdoor segment. This week we were out at the gun range. We did 2 stories at the gun range.
Okay.
On Thursday. And we went down to the gun range. The first thing I told the owner, I said, I don't have any ears. He goes, that's what we call our headsets or our earmuffs. And he goes, I forgot to get them. He says, I don't have any either. So he ran back up and he got me a pair. But yeah, I won't be on a gun range anymore without hearing protection, no matter what, because it hurts so bad if a gunshot goes off and you're on the range or in at their indoor range. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It feels like your ears are going to bleed.
And one thing we at my work is we're always talking safety,
right?
And it's I guess it's just becoming ingrained because now I wear hearing protection to cut the lawn.
Okay, really? Okay.
Yeah, I put in earplugs and I'll cut the lawn, but it's just because I have to wear earplugs when I go into the plant.
Okay.
Right? So it's just kind of trickling to my home life now. So I'm like, well, I really, for gun season, I've shot, and I was like, okay. It's like, but what do I do? I was like, man, I can't sit there and have these earplugs or headsets. And
right.
It's like, what am I going to do? So what I did,
electronic ears.
I went and picked up a pair of electronic ears. Now these, excuse me, I just got these out of the package.
I've actually looked at 2 different brands of these, and actually you just come up with this new third brand that I've not heard of.
Okay, so these are Peltor.
Okay.
Yeah, and they are by 3M.
Okay.
And they are electronic ears. They have, it's 26, this is the Tactical 500, so this is the 26 NRR.
Noise reduction
rating. Right?
Okay.
So, but they have 2 of the pickups in the front. I've read about some of them. They have 4.
Yeah, they got them in the front, and then they got them in the back.
Right. But then I was thinking about that. I'm like, well, if I'm in a blind, and I can't see out the back anyways. So, but these operate on 2 AA's, and basically they're Bluetooth. They're
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So you could have your phone and use them with your phone?
Yep. I can take calls with these.
Oh, very cool.
You can take calls with them. You can play music. You can do all sorts of things.
But when the shot goes off, they're noise canceling.
Exactly. So when you turn them on, you'll hear it.
Okay. Yep, I heard it.
And then go ahead and put those on. You'll hear a little bit of a hiss as we talk, and you'll start to pick up things when we talk.
Right.
And on your right side, you can go up or down in volume.
Now, see, I've heard some guys talk about that when they've got these on, that sometimes it gets confusing as to what side the noise is coming from. So if they're listening for deer, they'll think it's coming from their left, and all of a sudden the deer's on their right. And they said sometimes that's a common occurrence, but this seems to.
So that was one of the things they had a 5-star rating, so that's what I was going by. And basically, that was one of my things that I was kind of, when I was looking at these, and I've talked with Bob Rich a little bit about them.
Yeah, he uses Pro Ears.
Yeah, he uses Pro Ears.
And that's one of them that I've really looked at a lot. And the other one I've looked at is Walker Game Ears.
Yes.
Is the other one. And, both the Pro Ears and the Walkers, there's people who love them and there's people who don't like them.
Well, that's what it is. Reading those, it's like, I hate them. I love them.
Yeah.
I hate them.
So what do you do?
It's like, okay, so basically I did a little bit of reading. There's a couple reviews I've read about these. I think one was a law enforcement agent, gun range guy.
Okay.
Uses them. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to dive in here and get a pair.
What did those set you back?
These were $179.
That's not a bad price.
I've seen there's another, the military brand that's in the 200s. The Pro Ears are about 200.
Yep.
And then there was these. So I picked a pair up. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm going to try hard to use these. I'm thinking my ear's going to stay warm. I'm just put my hat over it, I guess. But we'll see. So I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to the fact that I'll be able to shoot my gun and not worry about my ears ringing if I screw up and shoot inside the blind again.
Well, like I say, when we get older, we're taking care of our body now. Well, you also got to take care of your eyes. You got to take care of your ears. I mean, it's not just, hey, go to the gym a couple times. Hey, I feel better. I mean, you get to our age, stuff starts to fall apart.
And you know what?
And you need to take care of yourself so you can get out and maximize the time you've got to spend outdoors.
Exactly. Because whether you're at home or you're at work, safety is the number one priority.
Absolutely.
And matter of fact, just this week we had a guy, basically he was doing, I think he was working, it was something spinning.
Mm-hmm.
And he used rubber gloves. And basically his hand just got caught and went for a ride. Basically messed his hand up pretty good.
The cloth got hooked in whatever was moving?
Yep. So another one I saw, a friend of mine at work, his friend was up at his cabin, and they had a very old chop saw.
Okay.
Well, this chop saw, the brake didn't work, or it was an older one. Well, it started to fall, and he tried grabbing it.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
As it was moving.
Yeah. So there's a picture that I saw that was just.
Hand was mangled.
It was. And it's like, my Lord. So safety, number one priority. This is my big addition for the year that I've heard other people, I've seen people on TV use these. And so I'm going to find out.
Well, the money I've spent here recently this year on hunting gear, it's not to get the new fanciest, greatest, greatest, biggest, fastest, strongest, whatever. I've spent money on safety lines and tie-offs.
Yep.
For the tree stand. I mean, that's where my money went this year so far. And I've been looking at these for really since about last spring.
I have been too. I have been looking. It's what like you said. You read and it's like, I hate them. I love them. I hate them. It's like, all right, where do you draw the line? And basically, that's what I did. I was going to Bass Pro anyways. I knew it. And this is the ones they had. I did a quick read on them.
Did they have any other brands?
In this. They had the Walkers. They had.
Did they have Pro Ear?
I didn't see those.
Okay, I know they sell them at the store, but it's online only.
Okay,
at Cabela's.
Yeah, so I picked a pair up, and then these are the tactical 500s. Mm-hmm. Which are the newest. They have a tactical 300 series, which is 2 less in the
noise reduction.
Noise reduction, and I don't know about the features on the 300. This is the book for both of them, so I'd have to look, but. Those are 140.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up another brand and we can compare and contrast.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
And Matt Howard says getting old sucks.
It does. It really does. Hey, Chris Kreiner, what's going on?
It does, but you know what? Because we know it,
Yeah.
We got to take care of ourselves.
That's just it. And my hearing right now, like I say, my ears, I got tinnitus in it. They ring continually. And that goes back to days when I was younger and I used to listen to music really loud. And I used to go to the gun range and I really didn't think a whole lot about wearing hearing protection. I didn't start doing that until I was probably in my early to mid 30s.
Hearing protection at a gun range?
Yeah, I mean, we go up north and we just shoot,
Really?
Outside. Well, when I was younger, back in the 70s, man, when I was with my dad, we just didn't think about that stuff.
Wow.
You shoot 22, shoot shotguns, and even hunting, you didn't wear hearing protection when you hunt.
No, not when you're hunting.
I mean, it's just things like that. I mean, not like at a gun range. The gun range I go to now, it's mandatory.
Yep.
And I've been a member there for, 10, 15 years. But, yeah, it's as I got older, I started thinking about those things. So I know that's why my hearing is the way it is.
The guy that taught me to shoot, his name was Heine, and he kind of was my poster child of years at the gun range. Mm-hmm. My dad would take him his guns. He'd sight him in. Mm-hmm. But he'd never, ever used hearing protection.
Okay.
So he took me when I was probably 14, getting ready for my first gun hunt. He took me, says, Heine, show him how to shoot. Mm-hmm. And he showed me how to shoot. But it was like, what?
Right.
You had to yell at the guy. And so, it was like, okay. And I know why to wear hunting.
Well, to tell you the truth, the guy that taught me really how to shoot was Sergeant Major Wetzel on the Eastern Michigan University rifle team. It was ROTC building. Kevin Hutchings and I, we were going to school together down there, and we both went over. They had open tryouts and stuff, and we shot and joined the rifle team. And you had to wear hearing protection over there, and that's really where it all kind of started for me, I guess. So that was in my 20s, But before that, when I was with my dad, we'd go out and shoot. You just never thought about it.
One of the other things about these that was these are a little bit slimmer.
Yeah.
This way.
Right.
Than the Pro ears.
Right.
So I took that into consideration thinking of the gun stock.
Well, here's the thing I got to think about is the reason I want a pair is for my job. When I go out and do these shoots for the On the Trail, the outdoor segment, we're using guns a lot of times for these shoots, And I've got a big camera, and, you're looking through the eyepiece. Well, my head's right up against the body of the camera, and I need that. I need something that's thin, I need a thinner ear cup.
Yes.
So my head's not sticking out past the viewing, the eyepiece.
Yes. That was one of the, they have the slim Pro ears, then they got the Pro ear, the bigger ones, and that was one of the drawbacks to those was about that. And Matt Howard here wore earplugs turkey hunting with a buddy, and his buddy was telling him to shoot, but he didn't hear him.
Okay.
And he always wears earplugs for everything. So
okay.
I think his job requires it as well. So, but yeah, that was another reason to get those. I read a couple comments about that, putting the gun up with the stock and bumping, and
sure,
I've had that happen too, and that isn't fun when I've been at the gun range and had this come up a little bit and ouch.
Yeah, right.
So
protection,
Yep.
take care of yourself. Eyes, ears, the whole 9 yards. Your heart. Exercise. Just the older we get, the easier it is to hurt ourselves.
And you don't snap back.
No, you don't. So, I'll tell you what, we're bumping up here on our last break, so we're going to step outside, take our last break, and we'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back, last segment of the show. So,
on this, the Hunter's Eve
show
of Michigan deer hunting.
Yeah.
2018.
We will have a show next week. We'll be back we'll be back Saturday night, late Saturday night. So Sunday we will have a show. So hopefully we got some good stuff to talk about. And actually, we want all of y'all to post pictures on our Facebook page. Feel free to go over and post if they're hunting camp or if it's deer that you shot.
Actually, post one of your hunting camp.
Yeah,
I want to see the different hunting camps that we got. I'm going to try to get some pictures of our hunting camp, and I'm going to try to, so when we talk about it and we talk about the place.
Yeah, you can see it.
See it, and it's like, I want to do that. I keep forgetting. I don't. It's like,
well, you're so busy. You got so many things to do, and you kind of roll through things, and it's like on your way home, you're like, oh, I should have took the picture of this. Oh, I should have took a picture of that.
Exactly. So I was wanting to
now
get
that we got
done.
these little things, it makes it so much easier.
Right. Exactly. So yeah. So that's my new stuff for the year. I got a question about that.
This is my card reader, my SD card reader that I use for pulling trail cameras cards.
And that's by Wildview.
Yes, and I have not found a camera that it would not read yet.
That is an Apple one.
Yes.
Then they have one for Android.
Yes, and it's cheaper.
$20 cheaper.
Yeah, it's $20 cheaper. This same thing for his phone versus my phone, because he's got an Android and I got an iPhone. $40 and $20. So
you purchase that, and then you download an app. So
yeah, into my iPad.
Okay.
I can do it on my phone, but I'd rather use my iPad.
Right, because that's where you store your pictures.
Yeah.
But is that free?
Yes.
Okay.
The app?
Yeah.
No, you pay the money to get this.
No.
Yeah, I know. You can download the app. The app's free.
The app is free off the App Store.
Yeah, and as soon as you plug this thing in, it recognizes it and does its thing. You set up files and folders.
I was looking at the one for Android, and I almost bought it, but I didn't. And a gentleman came up to me and says, that costs money. I'm like, well, yeah, it's $20 because it's the Android.
Right.
He goes, no, you got to download the app, and that's what it costs you money. And I'm like,
no, it doesn't.
I looked at Eric, and I go, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Go on your way. So
shoe fly.
Right. I was like,
yeah.
I looked at Eric, no, it doesn't. She
nope.
laughed.
I downloaded this onto my iPad, and you can download it to your iPhone. If you had an iMac or iBook, you could put it on that or a laptop. I'm not familiar with the app for the Android devices.
Okay.
I don't.
It's probably a little bit different. Everything's different.
Yeah, but this is easy to use. This is so easy. I plug it in, bang, it goes. I don't know how it works with Android devices.
I didn't buy it anyways because I usually download them to my computer when I'm up there anyways. So I thought about because I've heard you had no issues cards being read.
No, it's read everything I put in. Occasionally, I'll put a card in, and it'll just sit there or say no card found. I'll simply pull it out and put it back in again and just give it a little press. And I think it's just the contacts.
It's seating.
Just make sure it's seated and then bang, it goes.
All right.
So,
cool.
And speaking of cards, do you check your are you going to check your cameras when you go up?
Absolutely. I got them labeled.
Okay.
I use 2 cards per camera, A, B, C, and D. And I have A, B, and C out right now, I think. And when I go back, I'll take the A, B, and C cards and replace A with A, B with B, and C with C.
Okay, so you just go through, you pull the card and put another one in.
Yep.
Okay, that brings me to a point that I was going to talk about last week. You didn't bring over the pill bottles.
No! I got them for you, though.
Okay, so just imagine...
Those are my pills for my diabetes, just not that I have pill bottles, okay?
Just a regular pill bottle, a standard-sized pill bottle.
Okay.
Okay, and I got this suggestion from Land Consultants when I was up at Turtle Lake over there visiting with them when I was up Jersey for bow hunting 2 weeks ago Tuesday. And he took me around, and while he checked a couple cameras, he's like, hey, have you ever tried using these before? And I'm like, no, what do you mean? He goes, well, he said, instead of, because he'd heard me talk a little bit about how I kind of go through and check my cameras. He says, instead of doing it in the field, he says, I run 2 cards per camera, like you do. He said, but you don't want your camera cards in your pocket. You got to dig them, you got to dig in there. Then your fingers are on the contacts. You might get lint on the contact. You might be sitting in your pocket. Heaven forbid something gets sticky on there and it can ruin your camera, ruin your card. So what he does is takes a pill bottle and it'll hold, 4 or 5, 6 thick, Yep.
And
he drops them in there in a bunch and drops them in there. And then you can take and put some toilet paper or...
Oh, so they don't bounce around.
So they don't bounce around and
okay.
rattle. And it sticks that in his pocket.
Okay.
And he color codes them. He's got pink for one and blue or green for the other. And it coordinates with one that's used and one that's full.
Okay.
Or one that's empty, I should say, that he's going to replace.
Okay.
So all the ones he takes out of the camera go into one bottle, and he takes the new ones out of the other bottle. It's color coordinated and puts them back in.
Okay. I have I'll have to bring it. It's a card holder that holds...
Yeah, these are what I use a lot of times.
Yeah.
Little plastic cases.
Yep. I was doing that too, and then I was kind of losing them in my pockets.
Well, that's the whole point of what are you saying.
Right. So I will bring it in and we'll show you what we're talking about. But that makes good sense because now I know when I pull the card out and switch it, put it when I go back to camp. But definitely, depending on how many cards you have, it could get pretty monotonous.
Well, that's just it. I mean, we've seen some people who run...
a couple hundred cameras.
Right. People who've got big pieces of property.
Right. You got to take into consideration how much thousands of acres that are trying to run cameras on.
And at one time, along with my cameras, I was managing my cameras, the camp's cameras, plus 2 other guys' cameras. They kind of put me in charge of pulling cards and taking, and downloading it and all that stuff. I think at one time I was running 14 or 15 cameras, and it got to be really overwhelming at that point. So even with 3 or 4 or 5 cameras, however many you got, even 2, you can lose those cards. They're so small anyway.
Well, there's
and
that.
Then you pull them out and you get them in your hands. Like, okay, which one did I just pull out?
And especially now, I'm do you remember when a 1 gig card was $80?
Oh yeah.
I remember buying, I think, my first digital camera, and my first 1 gig card was $80.
Yeah.
Now you get cards like a dime a dozen. Right?
Well, I got a couple 64s that I use with a video camera.
Yep.
And I thought those were huge when I bought those. I got a bunch of 32s, and now you can buy the 32s, I think, for like less than $20.
Right, exactly. You do a little shopping, you can get, and I
think they're up to 128 or even bigger now.
And I was watching a place, and they started going. They had a package of 2 for basically $10.
Right.
2 8 gig cards. So I bought them, and then I labeled them and said, okay, these are specifically for my cameras.
Right.
So,
okay.
But I just added my new camera to the stock last night and named it and gave it a letter. So that's my D camera. And but yeah, definitely.
Do you write the dates of service when you put them into service on them?
No, I don't.
Start doing that as well. That way you know how many years of service you get out of the cameras instead of just guessing, especially if you've got 3 or 4 or 5 of the same kind.
Yep.
And it's like, well, I think I bought that, but I write number, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I got 9 and I wrote it through 9. I got 1 that's bad now. So we're going to replace that number, but somebody said, no, write the dates of service in.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So
I never thought about that.
That way you get an average of what
I now
you get
have 4 Cabela's cameras.
Okay.
So they got the lifetime warranty.
And the Brownings that I've had, the first batch that I bought, the first 3 are now in their 4th season. So average life expectancy on those cameras is 3 to 4 years.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Shout out to Illinois.
Yeah, Denny Steiner just tuned in. Hey, Denny, what's going on? Glad you're in tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'll have to write that in there now that you mention it.
Yeah, it's just another way to keep track of things, and that way if you've got a certain, maybe it's not even a certain brand, maybe it's a certain model of a manufacturer that's throwing issues.
I wish I would have wrote that on the one camera I have, the one that takes D's.
Yeah.
That's a golden oldie.
Right.
Man.
So.
But definitely, I'll probably get up there. I'll probably get up there Tuesday afternoon, and I will probably make a beeline to the woods to grab cards, switch them out, check them real quick, get out of the woods, and then start going through them, see what I got to deal with or what I don't have to deal with.
Okay. When you go out, like opening day, are you going to sit out all day?
Opening day, my intention is probably to sit out all day.
Okay. All right. I try to, generally speaking.
With the 2 guys that are going to be where I think they're going to be, I'll be the guy. I already got a deer for the year, so I'm going to tell them, hey, if you guys need help,
you're the go-to guy.
Come get me.
Okay.
Let everybody else hunt. We'll take care of what we need to, or track, or whatever we got to do.
Gotcha.
I have no problems doing that, especially with these guys. Neither of them have gotten a deer before.
Okay.
So yeah, let them get one, and I'll gladly get the Ranger, and we'll go get it and
right on.
Take care of it.
Good deal. Well, I tell you what, we're bumping up here towards the end of the show. Once again, I want to give a big thanks and shout out to Lynn Walker Game Calls, Tim Sias, for the new Purr plate. Look how thin that is. It fits right into the palm of your hand. It's got it shaped there for your thumb.
All right, flip it over and play the backside.
Really? I never thought about that. Yeah, it's slate. Let me get my slick stick here. I never even thought about that.
That's why I'm your sidekick. I help you with these things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just excited to get a new call.
Right?
Try a new call here.
That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, wait a second. This is, in reality, a double-sided call.
Yeah, right.
Now, I don't know if it plays any different.
Okay.
I don't hear no difference.
real soft.
Yep, absolutely. It's a soft call.
And this is a Cedar striker. That's what you should use on this. Just keep that nice little soft tone to it.
There you go.
And we're going to have Tim on here in 2 weeks.
Yep, absolutely.
Talking about his calls and
talk turkey.
What's going on down in West Virginia. Hopefully he has a deer by then, and we got something special cooked up with him. I do mean cooked up.
No.
If they can get a doe down there in West Virginia, we're going to have a special show.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to that. Yes. So, but big shout out to all the Michigan hunters who are going to be out this week. Be safe. Be careful out there, but have fun.
Be careful of what you're shooting at.
Yeah, know what's behind your target.
In any other states, Dan Anderson isn't on. I know his is coming up. Anywhere else that's having a gun season take off, just be safe.
And if you're in a tree stand, get tied in. Make sure you got a harness on and tie off. And do not hoist and lower your firearm loaded. Please don't do that.
Don't do that.
So, just some key things they may sound really redundant and silly, but
all it's got to do is go bad once.
And you could be the last time.
Right, exactly.
So we want you guys to come back again and listen to us again. We don't want this to be the last time because of a silly mistake. So
it's always good to have Matt Howard hanging with us.
Absolutely, even though he is from Ohio. Sorry, Matt.
I feel sorry for him. He had to go to New Jersey.
Oh, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, right.
So, other than that, I think
we'll be back next week, hopefully with 2 good stories or some good stories, some happy stories.
Absolutely.
We'll see what's going on. But good luck and
absolutely
shoot straight.
Yep. And for those of you all listening on the podcast, you can catch us on Stitcher, you can catch us on iHeartRadio, Good Talk Radio, iTunes.
Just about everything under the sun that's out there.
But leave us a review, and share the show or subscribe to the show, and that way you'll get a show every week. But leave us a review. That helps us out, and feel free to share it on any of the social media platforms as well. And take pictures at your deer camp and share them on our page. Whether it's your deer camp or whether it's maybe the breakfast table or dinner table, something around campfire. And then if y'all shoot deer, obviously we'd love to see those as well. So that'll do it for us this week on the podcast. Y'all be safe out there and have some fun in Michigan's great outdoors. And don't forget, you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on goodtalkradio.com. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Carbon Express,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Wind Scent Hunting Sense,
Killer Food Plots, Seeds, Supplements, and Attractants,
Cabela's,
Spot Shooters,
Limb Walker Game Calls,
Twisted Minds Bowstrings,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Antler Action,
and Family Traditions Tree Stands.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe until next week on the Up North Journal.